Okay, so this video is a short introduction on how to move from the legacy MFA and self-service password reset methods to the new converged authentication methods. So Microsoft is going to be pushing this in the 2025 in October, and before that date, you really should be doing this migration. Just quickly about me, my name is Christopher. I work in an IT company in Denmark, and I hold several Microsoft certifications. And in my spare time, I like to teach and share some of my knowledge. So if we go ahead and see the old methods. So the old multi-factor method is something you can browse via the multi-factor authentication tab here from the admin center in Microsoft 365. And that gives you this specific page so you can do some service settings. I apologize, this is in Danish. Most of my portal will be in English. So here's the different methods: phone, SMS, app, and push notifications from the app or token. So, and if you go to the Enter portal and look at how self-service password is reset, you can see that it could be set to selected or all. In this case, it's just set to none. But in most cases, when you have been using the legacy method, it is set to all. So in terms of MFA, you're using this per user MFA setting where it's activated and enforced per user in the old MFA portal. You're using the self-service password reset here, and you want to move from these old settings to the new ones. So part of that is we need to check the status of it right now. So if we go, we're still here in the password reset area. Go to the authentications methods here. So in the authentication methods here, then we can see this managed migration. As you can see right now, we are in the pre-migration stage. It has not been carried out yet. We want to complete this by the end of this course. The first thing we need to make sure is, as of right now, we can go and take a look at some of these converged policies here. So for instance, we got the Microsoft Authenticator that right now is enabled for all users. Can target that if you want to. If you go to the configure tab, you could say whether it's allowed to use the OTP, or if not, it could be that you need to support some method that cannot do the push authentication, where you need to be able to use the 6 digits. And here you can tailor your policy the way you want it. I'm not going through that today. The same is for SMS. You can do email, voice call, temporary access pass, and some others in here as well. If you want to enable the ability to use third-party tokens, it could be that you're using some kind of wall system that wants to handle these MFA tokens. You need to enable that as well. Otherwise, they will only be able to use Microsoft Authenticator. Or it could be that you want to be able to use Google Authenticator. So then you're satisfied with your new policies here. We need actually, before we go further, we need to make sure that we got some conditional access policies as well, because we want to be able to enforce the registration and uses of MFA policies. So in this particular case, we got a lot of MFA policies going on. So one that you could be starting using is, it could be similar to this one. It's most users and all cloud apps. This was just one condition where you hit browsers and desktop clients. And then on the grant, we require multi-factor authentication. As of course, it needs to be in the on state. So just to make sure that we got a new way of enforcing MFA on the users. Once we have that, we can go ahead and go back here, and we can say it's in progress. Yes. Before we can do the completion, we need to check a few other things as well. So if we go to the password reset, this actually needs to be set to none because we're not going to use that anymore. However, one thing we do need to still use is this one, the number of method required to reset. And for admins, that is going to be at least 2 methods, and it's actually still controlled in here. So you can find this information on the Microsoft pages. I have also written a guide on my webpage, and for sure about the admins, you need to make sure they have adequate amount of multi-factor registrations for the user that you're setting this up with. Otherwise, you could be in a logout position. So you could use a break glass account just for the testing, just to make sure that you don't get yourself locked out of the tenant. And also one thing to remember, make sure that the user you're using to set this up with is already registered for the legacy self-service password reset. Otherwise, you could end in a loop situation that is very hard to get out of. I am talking from experience, and that's it can be a lot of trouble to get out of it. Okay, so once we have established that this is set to none, we need to go to the old multi-factor portal and go into the service settings and actually remove all of those here and press save. I'm not going to do that right now. It will mess up my lab, but once you have removed all those and press save, you can wait a few minutes and you should be able to go into the to the authentication methods right here and do the managed migration and set it to complete. And if I do it now, it should give me an error because, hey, you have not disabled MFA and SSPR policies. So of course we need to do that. But once we have removed all those here and press save, wait a couple of minutes, you can complete the migration. And that's basically it. You have now completed the conversion from the old portals to the new experience.